friends, I am Dr. Pramod Zog. I am a pediatrician from Pune and professor of pediatrics at the D.Y. Patil Medical College. I was the president of the Indian Academy of Pediatrics in 2016 and I am also the member of the Government Pediatric COVID-19 Task Force which has been set up in 2021. Now, this particular COVID-19 pandemic started last year, that is in 2020, and now for last 1.5 years, we are all witnessing all the effects, bad effects of this particular pandemic. People ask me as to whether there will be any third wave of this pandemic. So let us understand the background of COVID-19. Last year, when we started witnessing this pandemic, it mainly affected the elderly people. And the second wave, which started during 2021, has affected the younger population. Many people ask me whether children are likely to be affected more in the third wave. Now we have to see the background. In 2020, when we had this particular pandemic, the elderly were affected more. Even those who had comorbidities like obesity, diabetes, they were affected more. In 2021, when we had the second wave, the younger population has been affected more, and even those without any comorbidities have been affected. There was a Sero survey which was done in December 2020 and January 2021, which showed that 25% of children in the age group of 10 to 17 years has been affected. And this particular finding made many people think whether in the unfortunate foreseen third wave, children will be affected more. Nobody can really predict the severity and the timing of the third wave. Many parents ask me questions about the severity of the disease in children. By and large, as pediatricians, we are lucky because most of the illnesses in children have been mild or asymptomatic, almost 90 to 95%. 5% children have moderate severity of the disease and only 1 to 2% have very severe disease. Remember, the psychological issues related to COVID-19 are also important. Quite a few children are at home and their screen time has increased. They are restless because they are not meeting their playmates. So we have to remember that the panorama, the spectrum of problems related to COVID-19 as regards the psychological involvement is varied. Many parents ask me as to in case if children get affected in the third wave, what are the preparations? The Indian Academy of Pediatrics has already prepared guidelines for the education of pediatricians to sensitize them about COVID-19. There is a guideline which gives details of management of a child infected by COVID-19. The government is also gearing up by setting up high dependency units and pediatric intensive care units, and there are plenty of guidelines for parents for home isolation. As I told you, most of the parents are aware of the term COVID-19, and whenever a child gets fever, they are worried. They always like to know whether this particular fever is because of COVID-19, and they call us or they approach us. Remember, fever, cough and cold are the symptoms which are common to influenza, rhinoviral infections and also to COVID-19. However, parents should know the red flag signs. These are the danger signs which are observed in a child when he becomes moderately ill. So if a child starts developing increase in the respiratory rate, he becomes breathless, he develops fatigue, if the fever continues for 3 to 4 days, then the parent should be worried. If a child is irritable or if he develops rash on the body, parents should always inform the health facility. It is important that the parents should understand that all the children are not symptomatic, meaning thereby every child will not develop fever, cough and cold. Some of them may not develop any of these symptoms. We call them as asymptomatic children. One should understand the meaning of the term incubation period. He doesn't have fever, cough and cold, but there is someone in the family who is COVID-19 positive, then in that particular child who doesn't have symptoms, testing should be done after 5 days because that is the minimum incubation period. So remember, the testing for this virus is done after 5 days if the child is asymptomatic. That means he doesn't have symptoms. But we want to find out whether he has COVID-19 because if he has infection, he is likely to spread the infection to others. However, if a child has fever, cough and cold, then parents should do the test as fast as possible. The test which is done is known as either rapid antigen test or RT-PCR. Now people know the term pulse oximeter. So parents must have a thermometer and a pulse oximeter so that they can monitor the child better. But it is very important that the child is monitored on a daily basis, and if the fever continues to rise, if it continues beyond 3 days, if the child becomes breathless, if the child becomes fatigued and tired, then it is their duty to report to the health facility. The main important point in management of mild COVID-19 in children is home isolation. There are different guidelines for home isolation, and I can see that quite a few children who are younger than 5 years, it's very difficult to manage these children at home and to keep them in an isolated room for 14 days. It is important that the parents stay with very small children. Of course, both should use the mask. Under the age of 5, it's very difficult for a child to wear a mask. However, parents should wear a mask. Even if the parents are negative, they are likely to get the infection from the child, and that is the reason why they should use a medical mask. N95 mask is the best mask which can prevent infection in the parents from the child. The child in the isolated room is bound to get irritated. He doesn't have any habit of staying alone, and that's why this is a time when he can always entertain himself with the help of a mobile or a TV. Probably the only time when we can allow mobile phones for a child. However, the items which are used by the child, like the utensils, the cup which is given for the milk, and so many other things like the spoons and the plates should be different. They should be washed differently and kept separately for that child. The most important thing in the family is to keep the grandparents away from the child. If there is some relative where the grandparents can be left, it is always better so that they do not catch COVID-19 infection. Why we are so much worried about grandparents is because they are elderly, they are high risk. Some of them could have hypertension or diabetes or asthma or some other illness for which they are taking treatment, and that is why never send sick children to the grandparents' house, because the grandparents are at a risk of developing COVID-19. This is the most important thing parents must understand. There are many other things related to the home isolation. Parents always like to know as to how to handle children and boost the immunity during the current COVID-19 times. They should remember an acronym which starts from A and ends with I. Remember that the attitude has to be always positive. Quite a few times we find that the news items on the TV always mention about the morbidity and the mortality related to COVID-19. But it is essential that parents take a look at these figures on their mobile phones, because children are playing in the house, they are in the living room, the television is on, and many times children also can get depressed and become negative. Always speak positive, keep smiling. B stands for breastfeeding. Those mothers who are feeding children on breast should continue to do that. Remember, even if the mother is COVID-19 positive, it is essential that she uses a mask and feeds the baby for complete 180 days, that is 6 months. One should also remember that the alphabet C stands for creative activities. Many times children at home are bored. Give them good quality crayon pencils, a very good white paper, and let them paint and draw. Let them also work with many instruments made up of plastic. Let them play with their siblings and have many creative activities. They can in fact help the mother in a creative way in the kitchen also. The alphabet D stands for diet. This is very important. Quite a few children keep eating junk food at home and they do not eat fiber. see that this is the right time to develop a habit where they can have green vegetables and fresh fruits, which will give them a lot of fiber and they won't develop the problem of constipation. Also remember that they do not eat junk because they are likely to become obese. Remember, obesity is a risk factor for COVID-19, and if children become obese at this moment, and unfortunately if the third wave strikes, these children will be in the category of high risk children. There is a recommendation by the Ayush Ministry of using a kadha for boosting the immunity, and I personally don't think there is anything wrong about it. And there are quite a few good herbs in Ayurvedas which are useful in boosting the immunity. The gut also has to be healthy. Remember that antibiotics which are used unnecessarily can disturb the gut flora, and that is why unnecessary antibiotics also should be avoided. The alphabet E stands for exercise. Remember, during the COVID times, children can always have good exercise like Surya Namaskar and also skipping on the rope and so many other things at home, and parents can also act as role models. If parents have the exercise at home, children definitely will like to do the exercise with them. F stands for family time. Remember, COVID has taught us many things. Quite a few parents were busy with their business or their profession, and they hardly had time to spend with children. But during COVID times, now parents have realized that giving adequate quality time for children is equally important. So give them time, listen to them. They might be telling you something about you, and please remember that you have to reflect on whatever they say. Remember that the alphabet G stands for getting enough sleep. 7 to 8 hours sleep for children is extremely important. When you sleep well, the gut microbiome also sleeps well, and it's a circadian rhythm. If it is healthy, it boosts your immunity. Remember that the next alphabet, H, stands for humor. Always remember, one has to be humorous in the house. It also stands for hygiene. We have always been talking about masks and keeping safe distance and washing the hands, and personal hygiene is extremely important. And the alphabet I stands for immunization. Please do not postpone the routine immunization of children, because the percentage of immunization in the community has gone down tremendously. After the COVID-19 pandemic starts declining, I am sure parents will definitely make a lot of crowd at the pediatricians' clinics for immunization. But there is no reason for parents to wait for that time. They can always take adequate precautions and take their children for immunization. So my dear friends, have a positive attitude. I always tell parents, what children need is masti, mask and maska. Masti is activity, mask is for prevention of infection, and maska is nothing but butter, that is nutrition. So all these three things are required along with the alphabets A to I for their lifestyle during COVID-19 times. These are the points which I told you related to the lifestyle of children.